Oh, whoa. That zoomed in. Are we live? Are we live? We're live. Awesome. Hi. Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com, and I have a message for all of you entrepreneurs there who are like me, don't like spending lots of time on the computer, don't like spending hours and hours and hours working, and don't really like figuring out complicated tech things. Because this is how I've built my business, is without doing these things. And I know there's a lot of messaging out there that suggests that you need to. I'm not saying that these things are bad. I'm just saying they're not a good fit for some people like me. And I want to share how I discovered how to grow my business, 2 businesses in fact, generate all of my clients every single month consistently through organic social media content, and to hit 10 and 20K months consistently and repeatedly with actually quite a small audience. And it all began when I started out as an entrepreneur and I was burnt out and I was broke. So I just finished my master's. I was making a career transition. I had chronic fatigue for 5 years, and I went through long periods of really being very highly unproductive because I didn't have the energy. I had really bad headaches. My health was in a really bad state. And I didn't have the freedom and the resources to be able to spend hours and hours and hours building my business. I simply wasn't capable of it. And I didn't have the resources to like pay other people to do things for me because I was really rebuilding my income in a new career, and recovering from being a student for the past 3 years doing my master's. So it was non-negotiable for me to find a strategy that was simple, that wasn't super, super time consuming, and that, enough that I could be consistent with it, because it was required that I created consistent income as an entrepreneur off the bat. Because I completely left behind my career in working on film crews because I couldn't physically do it anymore, and I didn't want to. I wanted the change. I wanted to be location independent. So what I didn't realize from this time of intense struggle, this actually gifted me the way of doing business that has brought me so much freedom now that I've completely recovered my health, and that I continue to use to this day, and that I continue to teach to all of my clients, so that you can have a coaching business as like a part-time job. You don't need to be slugging it out, because the actual truth is the activities that allow you to make the sales, that allow you to make the impact you're inspired to make and deliver it to enough people for you to have a thriving business, doesn't need to take hours and hours and hours. And I think that's one of the reasons that people are attracted to coaching in the first place. So how that happened for me, because I really was coming from below rock bottom when I started out. So I really had to leverage the skills that I did have, which was, number one, I was good at writing, even though I had to completely shift the way that I was writing from, my academic background to really learning how to speak to people in sales content, which is, it's weird because it's a very different way of writing, but it's way easier, but it did require a reconditioning process for me. It's like this whole business has really been reconditioning me that life can be easy, that work can be easy, that making money can be easy, and really conditioning myself that can be true, allowing myself to show up for that and to execute on it, and to not overcomplicate it, and to not let it take way more time and effort than it actually needs to. So there was the writing aspect. And then the other aspect was really listening to my intuition. So that was something that I was pretty good at in the past, and obviously it's a skill that I identified was really valuable and really brought me good things, and started to apply that in my business, and really starting to build self-trust in listening to what it is I desired to be doing, honoring what I didn't want to be doing. And I still slip up now and again. I'll be distracted by shiny object, take a course on a certain strategy where it's like hustle, 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 usually taught by a guy. That was my main mistake. I stopped learning from guys because they have that relentless energy and that push and that hustle that I don't want to be doing 50 million things and like push. I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel good to me. I don't. It doesn't feel good to me. I'm not going to do it. So I stopped beating myself up about that and thinking that I'm not good enough because I can't do these complex things where I have to do 50 million actions a day. And really give myself permission to lean into really leveraging and making work what I'm good at and what works for me, which is the simple way. And so it turns out these two were really the only main skills that I needed, was listening to my desire, because that always leads me to the strategy that will work best for me, because I will be able to be consistent with it, because I'll be able to enjoy it. So I'll skip through a lot of the resistance and be able to execute it and get good at it to the point that it's producing the results that I want. And then leaning on my ability to write and really honing that to understand exactly how to write, exactly how to get my desires and my authentic voice across in a way that's very strategic, is specifically speaking to the people that I am most excited to help, most excited to sell to, and really bring in the skills of writing and following my intuition and getting good at using them to create sales. This has really been the game changer for me, because that's the number one skill required in business. So for you to have a business, you have to be good at sales. And there's a million different ways that you can do it, right? And I've done the sales call way for a little bit. It went really good in the beginning. Then there was a period where it wasn't going so well, where I was kind of going through a weird bit. It stopped feeling good and I was like, I do not want to do this anymore. And so I stopped doing it. And once I acknowledge, really give myself permission to want what I want and to not want what I don't want, then the solution always appears. It always shows up. There's always a creative way to be reaching people, to be serving people, to be making money, to be selling whatever the hell you want to sell in a way that feels really good. So just right now, let's please all give ourselves permission. You can do business in the way that feels good to you. You do not have to do things that don't feel good to you. It gets to be fun. It gets to be simple. And as somebody who's definitely been an overcomplicator and spent a lot of time in my head overcomplicating things, I get it, right? Sometimes we're attracted to things that just overcomplicate things because it's mindset. It's all mindset. So this is precise copy and messaging really attracts the right people, and knowing how to use that skill, and you have access to social media, it's really all you need. And to be able to be consistent, there's no need to spend time talking to people who aren't ready yet, who aren't quite the right fit, when you know how to speak to the people who really want to buy what it is that you have to sell, and communicating that clearly. It does get to be simple, and it does get to be led by your desire and what feels good to you. I just shared a process to help you get clarity exactly on your desire in relation to what you're selling and who you're selling it to in a free workshop. DM me if you'd like the replay, which will be available for a few more days. And the main message and takeaway that I want to share is that when you trust your intuition, when you trust your desire and your passion for the work that you really want to be sharing, and then translating that into a specific and powerful message, that stands out on the internet more than everything else. That makes it easy for the people who are ready to pay you, excited to pay you specifically over and above everybody else on the internet. That's the thing that really helps you to stand out to them. And I'm running a flash sale on Tell Stories That Sell, which shares intuitive processes for you to get that clarity on what you're selling, specifically how to talk to the person you're most excited to work with at any price you want. This works for 5-figure offers. And as well as managing your energy so that you connecting to your intuition and your desire becomes your top priority and something that you tap into on a daily basis, as well as really cultivating and staying connected to your passion and your desire for the work that you're doing, because allowing that to fuel everything that you do in your strategy, everything that you do in your marketing, your messaging, that's how business becomes so fun and becomes such a fulfilling, creative expression of what you really care about, and the conversations that you really want to be having that really light you up, that you can talk about over and over and over, that are making a difference in your community. So I'll drop the link below. It's 11111 instead of 14444 until Friday, or 2 monthly payments of $650. And you get lifetime access to the course, all upgrades, access to the Facebook group where I'll look at your copy in our Q&As. You can ask me questions. You can take it at your own pace, but it's really everything that got me to my first 6-figure year, using organic social selling, spending no more than 30 minutes creating content a few times a week, so that I could stay in that rhythm and create consistent clients and create consistent 5-figure months in ways that are really fun for me, while managing my energy and recovering from burnout, building up my money, not spending my money on things that I didn't want to be spending them on in my business. So I really created a life of freedom that is fun for me and isn't all about business and hustle and complicated back-end administrative tech things, because it's just not for me. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Please feel free to hit me up with any questions that you have. The sale price is available until Friday at 5 p.m. EST. And thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.